Yang, 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 yang. Yeah, you already know what it is, man. Coach Jones, back up in the gym today, ready to get this working. And as you guys know, we in the middle of cut season, baby. And today, on the docket, we got some back work. That's right, we're gonna bring out that Christmas tree, them striations, and we're gonna build that upside down triangle, baby. You feel me? Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure that you guys like the video on the way in. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this working. All right, initiates, so we're back in our cut, full effect. Got some back work in action today. That's right, the return of Team Big Back, back like we never left, baby. It's all about them back gains, man. The bigger the back gains are, the better leg gains that we get, and the better the front side of our body looks as well. We'll also get bigger presses out of it, so yeah, that posterior chain is super important. So let's go ahead and blast our biceps, get warmed up, and then we'll head into our main work for the day. Now today we're gonna start blasting our biceps with the machine cable curl. All right, just to get a nice solid warm up, we're gonna superset these with an inverted row. We're gonna go a little bit heavier for these curls, and we're gonna work up in weight each set. We're gonna go ISO, so single arm each side, nice and smooth. We're gonna go 10 reps each arm, getting a nice tight squeeze at the top and controlling it on the way down every single rep. Nice and smooth there. Last 3. Nice and smooth. We'll get 10 on the left. Same thing. Keeping that tension on the bicep the entire way. Nice and controlled on the way down. Getting a big squeeze at the top of the movement here. Halfway through, trying to get as many of those bicep fibers to engage as possible. Last 2. So there's our first set of the machine cable bicep curl. Now we can head over to the free weight area with the barbells and get our inverted rows in. So we've already secured ourselves a platform. We went ahead, got our barbell set up for our inverted rows. Now let's go ahead and load in, and we'll go for a set of 10 here. And the emphasis here is trying to work our chest all the way to the bar, each rep. So I'm here, okay, rolling all the way up and touch, going for 10. There's our 10. Nice and smooth, plain and simple. We'll do 3 sets of our machine cable curl as well as the inverted row. That'll be the end of our warm up, and we can move on to our working sets, which will start right over here. And for that first working set, we're gonna start right here with the landmine V-bar row. We're gonna start a little bit light, and then we'll work up into some heavier sets. We'll superset that with some med ball slams with our slam ball here. So we wanna roll it all the way up to our chest, getting a nice tight squeeze. Basically thinking about touching those elbows together behind our back. And that's that tight squeeze that we wanna get at the top of this. If we can pause for a slight second with that squeeze, we want to. That way we can get as much and as deep of a contraction as possible, while also not using the momentum to get to those holds. So we'll do a set of 6 here, nice and smooth. Okay, we'll drop our hips, load it up, row into our chest. Super duper light. We'll do 5 reps here with the med ball slam. Nice and powerful. Good lag activation there. Let's add a plate to this bad boy. A little bit heavier now. The landmine slid on me a little bit that first set, but we're gonna make sure it stays locked in for this set of 6. So 1 more plate, add it on, nice and smooth, keeping the hips down, rolling all the way to our chest. 6 reps. Here we go. 6 reps, V-bar row. Now let's get our slams. 5 slams. Let's add one more plate for our last set. Here we go. Last set, 5 plates on the bar. Nice and smooth. We're gonna control that eccentric still, making sure that we're loading up our muscles with as much volume as possible, as much tension as possible. Set of 6 here. Let's finish it off strong. Here we go. Last set, med ball slams, nice and smooth. There's our first superset. First working sets are finished. Now let's head on over to our second superset cluster of the day. Now this second cluster of the day is all about our lats, And we're gonna work 2 of my favorite lat movements, used for us to build that size, used for us to actually increase the amount that our lats spread so that we can get that true upside down triangle look. So we'll do a set of some linear lat pull downs and then some lateral lat pull downs. And we're gonna hit our lats at 2 different angles with these movements. So we're gonna start right here with our linear pull down. Okay, single arm, nice and smooth. Same thing as before, getting a nice tight squeeze on that back. We're thinking about wrapping that elbow around the body, touching the opposite elbow in the back. Nice and smooth. There's our first 5 halfway through. We're gonna keep it this smooth the entire way. Big thing here for us to bring out those striations, those separations, is time under tension. King tut, that's what we call it, king tut. That's what'll help us truly separate those muscles and bring out those striations that really show how hard you're working in the gym. Let's go right hand here. Same thing, a set of 10. Nice and smooth, getting a squeeze, feeling that stretch all the way up in that lat muscle. Halfway. Really working that stretch at the top. Letting it pull just a little bit. Then we contract it back down. Last one. Here's our linear lat pull downs. Now we'll do our lateral lat pull downs. We'll go for 8 for our lateral pull downs here. All right, 8 reps. Nice and smooth. Same thing. Really leading with that elbow. Two more. Last one. There's 8 on our left. Now we'll go right. From this view, you guys should be able to get a pretty decent view of the stretch in our lat that's occurring. Still leading with that elbow. Two more. Big squeeze at the bottom. Last one. Now we'll move on over to our third exercise that's in this cluster, which will be right over here. Now, like I said before we started this cluster, it's all about the lats. So here we got ourselves a low lat row. We already got the plates loaded up. Same thing as before, big range of motion. Feeling that stretch all the way out, okay? And again, trying to squeeze and wrap that elbow behind our back and touch our opposite elbow. That's the point of emphasis here. Making sure that we're getting as deep of a squeeze as possible and as long of a stretch as possible. Big range of motion here, nice and controlled. Again, king tut is still in the building. Nice and smooth, we're gonna go for 10 reps. Big stretch, big squeeze. Nice and smooth. You feel that squeeze get a little bit tighter each time. Last two. Here we go, last one, nice and controlled. See, I'm starting to feel a deep pump in my lats already. Let's go, left arm, 10 reps here, nice and smooth. Again, big squeeze at the top of this movement. Nice stretch. Big squeeze halfway through. Last two. Here we go, strong finish. Nice and smooth. Here's our set of 10, both arms. Again, we'll reset this cluster. We'll do 3 sets total before we move on over to our last cluster, which I'll show you right over here. For our last cluster, we already have everything set up, okay? We're gonna do a push, a pull, and a shrug, okay? Our push is gonna be a Gillespie press. We'll start with our pull though, which will actually be a pull-up, all right? We're gonna do sets of 6 for our pull-up. We're gonna do sets of 20 for our shrug, and we're gonna do sets of 20 for our Gillespie press. So we'll go ahead and get loaded in here, and we'll start, of course, with the pull-up, So all the way up, chin above the bar, all the way down, nice stretch at the bottom. Controlled the whole way. Very strict. Last one. Let's go push in between our pull and our shrug with the Gillespie press. Nice and smooth. And what we're trying to do with this last cluster is pump as much blood as we can into our arms, our shoulders, and our back, so that when we actually go and get our nutrients, we have our smoothie, we have our post-workout meal, and that blood will rush all of those nutrients back into those muscles. As we uptake those nutrients, we start that protein synthesis, or the rebuilding of the muscles after the fibers were torn apart. So here we go, shrugs, nice and smooth, 20. There it is. First set of our push, pull, shrug. We'll do 2 more sets of this particular cluster, and we are good to go. And it's always a phenomenal day whenever we have a great lift. Definitely got some great back work in today. Big pump in my back. I can feel it. It's still swollen right now. It's still swollen. Ready to get this post-workout meal in, get that recovery going so we can get those gains, baby. Now, if you didn't on the way in, which I don't know why you wouldn't have, make sure that you guys like the video on the way out. Also, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you can get all the latest updates on videos when I post them and new goals when I create them. If you want the full-length version of today's workout, head on over to Patreon, where you can access all of the full-length versions of the workouts that I do right here on YouTube. Head on over to Instagram, hit Coach Jones with a follow. That is at Coach Jones _. At Coach Jones _. And follow that Hardbody Athletic _ as well. And until next time, peace.